Sorry, our tech goblin just said something just before we came on, and it was funny, and I won't repeat it. But I will say this, try saying sea anemone and not sound like you're having trouble saying the word. Thank you everybody for coming out. Welcome to Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction on the Games Tavern. We're so glad to have you. If this is your first time watching us, please hit that like or subscribe button, whichever is appropriate to the platform you're watching us on today. For the remainder of the show, I will hand it over to Simmarine, and she'll be the DM. No, I'm kidding.
Let's go. I got this.
Yeah, I know you do, right? Like,
You're all level 20. Let's go.
And because I had the greatest conversation with the person in charge of it, now's as good a time as any to mention Dragon's Concord. You can meet some of our great folks there who actually do dungeon mastering there, including our tech goblin. And I think, is there somebody else here who does it? Who does that? No, everybody else is good. All right, so our tech goblin is DMing there. You can see them and hang out with them and do whatever you like there. Good times. So, sea anemone. Sea anemone. Yeah, anemone. Yeah, see, it's already started, right? Okay, and with that, let's kick off. Where we last left off, the party had rescued both Gorf Greygem and Sahir of the Temple of Ogma. Gorf Greygem from the Temple of Gond, and Sahir from the Temple of Ogma. Sahir being the mentor and patron supporting Turja in her journey from her family as she worked for the Temple of Ogma, kidnapped against his will. And Gorf Greygem, who worked at the Temple of Gond, who they met briefly before he was kidnapped, they got them out. After much trepidation and some nervousness about the odd behaviors that they think they saw, they pulled up safely at the Yawning Portal. Yawning Portal being a very large establishment over a big hole that goes straight into the Undermountain. In their room, they made some decisions, had some conversations. I'm not going to repeat them because you need to watch last episode's show to see them, and I do highly recommend you do that. And while there, they made some decisions, and two of them, Garlo and Turja, have gone off to the Temple of Ogma after concerns with their good friend here and some behavior they think they saw. Gorf Greygem spoke a little bit and seemed very concerned about letting them know that someone was able to get inside the Temple of Ogma's libraries. At the same time, the party now split with Luciano, Rafe, sitting at the and Sim at the temple. Or excuse me, not the temple. What's the name of the place again? The Yawning Portal. Sorry, man, my memory is just words hard. I said sea anemone, and it's just gone downhill ever since, right? And then the other party is making their way through the cold, blustery evening of winter snow throughout. And when we come back, we have the party sitting upstairs above everyone else. Sahir has just knocked out for the night. You have a nervous pacing Gorf Greygem, and we start with Sim, Rafe, and Luciano. Luciano currently in a holding pattern, but he'll be here soon.
Well, it's getting really cold. How far are we wandering?
You're in the Yawning Portal in the room.
I know.
Yeah. It's cold outside. It's warm inside.
I don't know that that's true, actually.
Well, you just did start the fireplace, I think, if I recall.
Oh, okay. Garlo said that last time.
Yeah.
He's smarter than the rest of us.
Yes.
We knew this. Do you need a moment? Waving between Rafe and Gondorian Priest. Like, does he know? Do they all know yet?
Well, I actually don't know if he knows. I'm pretty sure the rest of them do, though, because the Alban Temple was not really quiet about it.
They may not have put 2 and 2 together, however. You never know. Ooh, is Rafe going to play both sides?
Don't change it. The temples.
Tale of
What
the
a
Two Temples,
ridiculous question.
starring Rafe.
The answer is almost unequivocally no.
Oh, okay.
Although I probably could pull it off.
I mean, you'll never know until you try.
Our master of mechanics and also of intrigue.
As long as I intimidate everybody into believing it. No, well, hopefully, maybe. It really depends on how long he's been gone. I'm not sure.
Hey, how long have you been gone? Do you like have watches or anything? You can make those, right?
Yeah, but they didn't really work there correctly for some reason.
Oh, I get that.
There's only like 2 clocks that work there, and the
Sim's
2
already-
clocks were kept under very close scrutiny by the people that were there. There was no clock in the laboratory, except for a wind-up one for timing, not for the time of day, because there is no time of day there. But what day is it now? What month is it now?
You
Those are
realize
great
you're asking
questions.
Rafe and Cimarine, the 2 least likely people to know?
Give me 1 second, I'll tell you what it is. It's Uktar. You're past Marpanoth. Marpanoth is October. You're in Uktar, which is November. Equivalent.
Marpanoff was over. A
You're
week
about
ago?
2 weeks into.
Two weeks ago? Something like that. Yeah.
10 days ago. Yeah. So. Oh, well, then it's probably been 2 months.
Oh,
So nothing to tell.
fair enough.
Yeah. They had him, old sleepy time over there, before me. I don't know when they took him.
Yeah, well, I would guess it would have been sometime after we left.
Left?
Oh yes, we sailed. Well, we rode north, and then we sailed northerner, and then we sailed southwesterly, and then we ended up in. Where was that again, Sim?
New.
Oh yeah, I definitely wasn't keeping track. You're the one that writes down everything.
Oh yeah. Oh, right. I'm gonna reach in and pull out my notebook and flip there. Oh right, New Baldur's Gate. Which apparently we should not confuse with Baldur's Gate to the south of us.
Well, that one's new, so obviously they're different.
Yeah. Didn't really feel all that new.
Right. I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds like you've been gone for a while.
Yes, that was the substance of my statement. We've been gone for a while.
Okay. So your friends, they left, and where are they going? They're coming back, right?
Garlo said something about needing supplies, right?
Oh, supplies, yeah. But they're coming back, right?
Guys. Yeah, I think so. I
Okay.
don't know why they wouldn't.
Yeah,
Why?
no, they're definitely coming back. It's just a matter of when and how cold they'll be.
Do you need to share something with them? You can trust us, probably.
I just feel a lot safer if all of you were nearby in case, he shows up.
Oh, well,
He
if
who
he
should
shows
not
up
be named.
here, very likely that the Black Staff will intervene, and then it won't be our problem.
Yeah, but is that before or after fireballs are thrown and we're all charred to a cindered crisp?
Well, probably after, but
Or-
don't worry.
okay, Yeah.
We'll teleport out before any fireballs char us to a crisp.
That
Good at this
doesn't
thing.
sound very reassuring.
I
And with
mean,
that, we transition to Turja and Garlo, who have been riding in a dray in the cold darkness, only lit occasionally by the either magical or lit lamps by the lamplighters in the dark, snowy streets of Waterdeep.
I would like to know for the record that I am periodically checking outside to make sure we are on the correct route, because I consider that a very real possibility that you'll drive us into a dark alley and leave us there.
I appreciate your thinking. However, you can't outthink any DM ever. It's just not going to happen. But
I can try.
you appear, well, drays are keeping to the major roads right now. So
Okay.
the wind blows by. It's kind of rough. It's cold. It's cold. You pull your cloaks tighter. You can feel the dryness hit with each gusty blow of the wind.
Garlo uses his fire starter and lights up his pipe. It doesn't have any magic in it right now, but it's still just an effective pipe.
Yeah, oh, you can always smoke the pipe and not necessarily activate a cloud of daggers flying everywhere, should you wish it.
Lights it up and just takes like a drag out of it. Offers it to Turja. Don't know if you smoke or not.
No, thank you.
So, are you sure that this is the best course of action there, Turja?
What do you mean?
I mean, that wizard is awful skittish about needing to stay away from the temple. It might not be safe.
He said that Manchun could get into the temple. Clearly, the temple the priest need to know that as quickly as possible. The head priest, and we need help for us to hear. We need to go there and get help for him.
Turja, I know we need to get help, but you seem shook more than I think I've seen you.
Something's wrong with him. Couldn't you tell?
I don't know him, Turja. I've never met him.
Well, take it from me. There's something wrong and we need to get help for him. It's important.
Take another drag. I mean, we've got so long to go.
So
You
long.
want to tell me about him?
He was my teacher when I was younger. My father didn't really know what to do with girls, so I went to boarding school at the Temple of Ogma. He helped me out when I was there.
Helped you out with just schooling or learning how to shoot? And just like gesture at the crossbow.
A lot of things. I tended to get in trouble a lot. For some reason, I tended to... Well, apparently nobody likes it when you when you say certain things about people that are true, but nobody wants to hear them.
Fair enough. I mean, Turja, we haven't really had a chance to talk much. I don't really know where you kind of come from. I know we have vastly different backgrounds. I just look at, like, Garlo's in essentially, like, he has the coat, but I think it's still just like a regular tunic, like regular kind of the equivalent of blue jeans and a white tee, and then like Turja's in like better finery, better clothes.
No, she wouldn't be.
Oh, probably just better quality, I imagine.
No,
but
I mean, come on, she's been wandering around for 3 years, man.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I know next to nothing about you.
As I could tell, most of you aren't terribly interested in getting acquainted anyway.
I don't know if that's fair. You haven't exactly been the most forthcoming. And take another drag. I have a pipe. I should use it. Not here.
You gotta love using those props when you got them.
I have it, but I'll get it some other time. Well, yeah, I'm here now.
What do you want to know?
Who are you? Where you come from? You don't seem to have a particularly fond memories of home, I guess, or broken memories, I guess. I guess I can relate. Take another drag.
I mean, I told the others when you were, well, I don't know what we call it, indisposed. Is that a polite way to say dead?
You know, I haven't exactly thought about it. Sounds fine enough, I imagine. Sure, indisposed.
Well, I'm sure you've guessed Nighthawk's not my real name. It's far too pretentious to be anyone's real name, really.
Could have fooled me. Met a couple weird folk.
My name is Ironwalk. I say this like it should mean something all by itself.
Can I roll a history check? I haven't been around a lot, but I mean,
Did you grow up
there's a
in
chance
Waterdeep?
I didn't grow up, but I mean, I think it would. Is it like the equivalent of hearing the Rockefellers or something
You
like
can-
that?
You can roll. You can roll it at disadvantage because you weren't really into that scene either. So
Yeah. I imagine if he heard it, it was obviously like from the like criers selling paper about.
Some scandal.
Well, it's already a 3, but let's see what we can do here.
you're like,
Oh, it got even worse. It's a 2. Wow, it did get worse. Perfect. No
You-
idea.
no idea why this is something she
Gar-
paused on. It was really awkward. Yeah.
Turja pauses on it, and Garlo's like, "Oh,
I'm noble, right?
no.
As opposed to what other kind?
I don't know. I met a couple kind of like dipshite nobles. The people we robbed all them clothes from seemed less noble than nobles.
They're the part of the reason I don't talk about it much. When you don't have the protection of your family, better if people didn't realize that you're not. Well, commoners tend to be very happy to take for a chance to take revenge on nobles like those nobles, and they don't know that I'm not trying to be like one of those nobles. So sometimes they take revenge on me, and I got tired of that. So hence the fancy name.
Fair enough. Sometimes
Ray
it's easier
stops
to start again.
temporarily. You hear someone cough a little bit as they get up from the very front seat, step off the front area, and then the bell rings and the dray continues on a little bit.
So, not noble anymore. Take it.
Well, my father and I had a philosophical disagreement over certain aspects of how we ran the family, and my father's not really the very tolerant and agree to disagree sort.
So then that's where Zahir came in.
He found me when I was having trouble. I got along for a little while, or at least I tried to. I run out of money. I was in a little place in the Dockwood, and he tracked me down. Offered me a job. It's irregular work, and frankly, probably charity, but it's better than the alternative, so I just try to do the best I can.
Garlo nods at the alternative. Like, I know a bit about that side of things. Take a drag, just kind of looking out the window for a minute, and then. So that's how he basically took care of you. That's something special. Something not everyone gets.
I need to fix this. I can't just leave him. We left him there for months. I don't know how long he was there. I don't know what they did to him. We need to fix this.
There's nothing we can do at this point, though, Tarja. I think Garlo's just gonna like put like a hand, just like up. we got him out of there, Terja.
Not soon enough.
It could have been later, Terja. We had no idea what was happening.
You knew something was happening. Somebody gets
Something-
kidnapped. It's not flowers and celebratory drinks of brandy.
When we found out,
Well, with the
Where
it
this-
might be brandy. Who knows?
when we found this information, when we found out about this tower, Manchun, all this stuff, how long did we sit on it, Terja?
I found out he was missing months ago. And we
Yeah,
never went
and
to-
did you have any sort of actionable information about it?
I knew he was gone.
Could
can't
you have done
investigate
anything?
where somebody went missing from 1,000 miles away.
Bing, bing, the bell rings. You've stopped at your stop. The dray has come to a halt. You need to get up and get off to catch your next dray at the intersection going the other direction.
We gotta change buses. We gotta catch the
Stepped
B
off.
line.
Yeah, you stepped off. You were on the main drag there, and now you were heading westbound on the next dray that comes out. For now, you're standing on the street corner. The light's lit. And with that, we're going to transition back to Sim and Rafe and Luciano.
Well, hopefully they're getting along well. Now, let's see if we can order a little bit of food.
More food. Okay.
I mean, we bought some, but
Mm-hmm.
didn't Sahir eat most of it?
He ate everything you bought it for him. He was
Yeah.
hungry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he
Like,
drank
you-
too. And
Still
now
hungry,
he
Gorf?
is Z'd out. If you could get some
No problem, I think.
yeah, they bake it just right here. It's like they've got actual elves on staff who know what they're doing.
So if I remember correctly, this inn is built so that most of the rooms can look down.
The
Like you
rooms can't, but
step
you
through-
can step through the front door of your room
Yeah,
and lean
and
over
look
the
down.
banister. Yeah, from the floor you're on, it's there. The
Yeah,
first
so I'm
two
gonna step
floors
out.
are seating and food.
Yeah. I'm going to step out and leave the door open so he can still see me, and I'm going to send a message down to one of the waitstaff. Literally
Oh.
use message.
What room are you in? 3 what?
Turn around and look at the number.
Okay. Oh, 312. Right. The hostel room. All right, no problem. I'll have that up. Just give me about 20 minutes. Anything else with the bread?
Well, yeah, bring some elven frost wine too.
No problem. We'll add it to your tab. Am I putting that on the room tab, or am I bringing it right up and you paying me that there?
I'll pay for it.
Excellent. All right, we'll get it right up. You step back into the room. You close the door.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Nobody left, so he didn't panic.
No need to. We got this under
Okay.
control. Lucy's standing very confident nearby.
Right by the fire.
Right. Looking extremely confident and or confused.
Yes, it's the
Very.
same look.
The camera pans over and it's a cutout of Lucy, just cardboard cutout. Just,
Yeah. Well, he was told to keep an eye on someone. And he is definitely
As
sitting
the
there
camera
like-
starts to pan away, it just turns into a wooden block.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
falls over.
A puppet really, you know. When
Yeah.
you look over at Sahir, he's an old man snoring. He is exactly that.
Well, I can't figure out what's going on with Sahir, but I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it eventually.
Rick, he's sleeping. People do that. You do that, like every night.
Oh, yeah. I meant more the everything that doesn't seem to be right with him, according to Terja.
He does seem to know some stuff that's a little weird.
Right. A little weird. Not super weird, just a little weird. Is that really how we want to characterize this?
Till more information comes out, I suppose. You said, hey, priest guy. I know, you don't want to talk about like what you saw them do to him. Is it just like standard magic torture, or was there like operations? Like, was there anything that changed? So they changed with him?
Well, I don't know exactly what they did, but there was definitely torture.
Yeah.
I literally saw things contort on that man's body that shouldn't happen. Things bending. It's like otherworldly pain was being inflicted upon him. At one point, he did something with tentacles. Purple, horrible tentacles swarming all over him from another plane. I can only imagine what he did inside his head. They made me watch, saying that they would do the same things to me. I watched him scream in pain, but not be able to actually scream. So I built whatever he told me to.
So you worked on his arm mostly, right?
He wanted arms. He wanted other things too that I didn't get to. He asked for a ring of some sort, which I gave him, and yeah, sometimes he would come into the lab in a rage, talking about how some deals were being messed up, and other times he'd come in thrilled, like he's really gonna get some opportunities with what he's learned, and stuff like that. But yeah.
So, like, when we ever face off against him, is there anything we should know about and like, I start waving my wooden arm. like, did he tricks up his sleeve, or is it just standard appendage?
Oh, there's a lot of tricks up that man's sleeve, even without the arm.
But you know what I mean? So, like, that means you kind of know the weakness of it, right?
There's no weakness. It's
okay,
a
now's not the time to
never-ending...
brag.
That's not what I mean. Although my work is good, don't get me wrong. But,
of course.
it's like this. There's a lot of functionality he wanted built in. I built the first one, and I gave it to him, and he put it on. Then he came back and said he wanted another one. I don't know what he did with the first one. But he wanted more capability. So I built more stuff, and he wanted it to be able to, at will, do all these things related to the shocking effects that I have some guild mastery over, This wine's good. But the point is it has a lot of power and capability built into it. Arcane etched. And some resistances, too. I don't know how powerful he was as a wizard, but he's one of the most powerful ones I've ever seen. And there's a lot of powerful ones in this town. I don't know them all, though. But it's not the power that scares me. It's the man has no limits what he's willing to do to another person. I honestly think he's the kind of person who would destroy everyone in this city if he thought it would get him to his ends. Whatever they are.
Has he historically had some sort of dispute with the city of Waterdeep?
I wouldn't know. I didn't even know who the guy was until he took me.
Don't even ask me if I want to roll for that, because the answer is no, because I'm going to fail that roll.
The other thing is I do remember this. He was looking for the old man's book. He was really pissed that he didn't find it.
Whose book exactly?
His.
Zahir's?
Points to his.
And if I was Zahir, where would I hide a book?
In the library.
Tersha have a book?
Who? Oh, your friend? She has a book?
Well,
What?
she has a lot of books. But
We have a lot of friends. Calm down.
Well,
in fact, I have a lot of books too, but most of those were taken, well, given to me by a dungeon.
I'm not sure the
Right.
gifting properties work that way.
It's transversive, I think.
Did you make that word up? It sounds like
Maybe.
you made that word up.
Maybe.
Okay. You're
That's
so
a-
smart. Um, I had a question and I lost it. Bummer.
I mean, get me out of this, and I'll see what I can make for you guys. I guess.
Yeah, talk to me more about what
Oh.
you can do to my arm. I'm still attached to
Sure.
it, but I'm curious.
I wouldn't do a thing to that. That's a different kind of magic right there. I wouldn't dare try to mess or upset that thing.
Right, well, we'll worry about what sort of things you can build for Garlo. He needs all sorts of things.
Yeah. Which one's Garlo?
The one who's about your height.
Oh, I like him. He's a fiery lad.
He,
I heard how.
he does like to punch things, yes.
Yeah. Really strong too. But he smells like a stable.
Oh, well, that's probably because he just came back to life.
I thought it was because he was sweaty, but I don't know.
You get used to it. Everyone has their own fragrance. It's just kind of when you travel together.
Yeah, you smell of mint juleps and booze mostly.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's part of the mint juleps and the booze.
Right. You smell like sea breeze and salt. Turgis smelled like soap.
Yeah, sea breeze and salt. I suppose that makes sense in a sort of twisted kind of way. Salt, though.
Yeah. And Luciano, he smells like yeah, man, you smell like sorrow.
Yeah, no. That's definitely not Luciano. He smells like slightly burnt parchment most of the time.
That too, but there's no, it's the cologne. It's called Sorrow. You've never heard of it?
No.
Oh no, they sell it. They sell it in the market there. I guess he must have doused
Well, he is a
himself
very
in it.
fashionable man.
Yeah. I mean, it's only proper that we talk about him since he's not here to defend himself properly.
What are you talking about? He's right there, as I point to the cardboard cutout.
Yes, of course he is. Yeah, he looks great.
Now it's turned into one of those punching things that's just like rolling back and forth.
So,
And just then there's a knock at the door. Room service.
I will reach into my bag of holding and move some amount of gold into my actual purse. I open the door and pay the server.
Oh, that's way too much, sir. Thank you. And then you close the door.
Yep.
Woo-hoo.
Just gonna say I gave him 3 gold.
And with that, we transition over to Garlo and Turja. As the cold wind blustery blows, you have just boarded another dray, and you're on your way. Should be a short trip this time.
I know that you feel like we didn't do enough, Turja.
That's not a criticism of you, or even really a criticism of me. I know logically that we came as soon as we could. It's just, there's knowing and there's knowing.
Turja, I know a lot more about that feeling than I think you might realize. But we did make it, though.
Maybe.
We got him out of there. We rushed in. We wrecked up house inside that wizard's abode. Beat the snot out of his simulape or whatever it was. What did he call it? Some simulacrum?
Oh, simulacrum. Yes. Clone, I
Beat that.
suppose you could say.
I mean, we did
I glance at the window looking for somebody to fireball the carriage.
It's just darkness, with the occasional warming lights from inside some homes, and drift globes casting a warm blue light. Along the empty streets that are piling with snow, slowly but surely as the drays shuffle through.
We did good work. Together. All of us.
Okay, right, what's your point?
I'm just trying to say you don't have to try to do everything yourself.
Who else is there to rely on besides Sahir?
I don't know. Maybe the people who help storm a wizard's sanctum with you?
Look, all my life I was taught that you rely on family, and that's the only people you can really rely on is your family. And then for the last 3 years I couldn't even rely on them. So... You're right. I should work with you more, but it's just not easy to not keep secrets or to not go off by myself, because I always had to keep secrets and there was no one else to go to.
The dray comes to a stop just as you say that, Garlo. The bell rings. A couple more people jump on. They sit in the front. The dray then continues on. You're almost there.
I can understand that, Turja. I would just... I don't know how we can live up to your standard if you're not willing to give us the chance. I think we're trying, and I mean, to be fair, Turja, I mean, I sacrificed everything to help save all of you.
That's true, you did.
And I think in and out of all the scraps, and I mean, there's even more since I've been disposed. What did we say? Indisposed?
Indisposed.
Since I was indisposed, there's been more scraps that you have fought side by side with the rest of them. I don't have a family, Turja. They're gone. And part of it is the family that you can find on your own. And it breaks my heart that this one isn't as strong as it was when I left.
I'm sorry you had a family.
Thank you. But what can help breach this back?
What do you mean?
This back and forth with you and Lucy and Sim, and this rift that has kind of split between all of us.
Well, Lucy can stop serving a devil pact. That would be useful. That would be very reassuring to me if Lucy were no longer serving a devil.
I can't attest to what Lucy is doing. I haven't talked to him yet about it, but I know that if it wasn't for whatever he was doing, that we most likely would not have made it through that last fight without that magic.
Just because what he did helps us doesn't make it a good thing to do.
No, but It's
Already
also
slit one person's throat for that devil. We don't know what he'll do next for him.
you are leaping to a conclusion that I don't think is warranted yet.
I saw him do it with my own eyes. It's not like this is conjecture here, Gotta.
You saw him kill a man, yes. A man that he had tried to reason with. Is that true?
A man that was also tied up and defenseless.
A man that... I am simply saying that if he made a mistake in your eyes, is that really reason to burn the entire bridge? Or is that more of a reason to reach out a hand and help him?
And with that, the dray stops, the bell rings, and you are at your stop. I believe you were going to the Temple of Ogma, correct?
Yes.
As we, I just look at Turja before we get off and say, as far as what we're doing here, I'll trust you to lead. I don't exactly know what the game plan is here to try to talk to him, if you have some sort of way to reach out. But as far as Lucy is concerned, I just think that maybe judging someone on a mistake is very cruel. And as he gets ready to, puts out his pipe, and as he gets ready to step out, in thieves' can't, he'll say to Turja, we've all had to do things to survive that we're not proud of.
You've killed people to survive that you weren't proud of.
He's walking away. He's walking to the temple.
Pull your cloaks tighter as you realize the temple doors are closed. It's past normal hours.
I've got the key to Sahir's office. I don't suppose that works here.
No.
It was worth a try. Hey, the priests have to have some way to get in and out of normal hours.
They do. There's side entrances that you're aware of, should you wish to try to take them.
Yes, we will
You don't
try
want to
to
knock on the main door? Okay.
Garlo's hands up, then the Turja's walking to the other side. Okay.
You walk down through, cut through part of the open courtyard on the side, walk down a long sidewalk where there are a number of different doors that you pass, but Turja gets to one in particular. She goes to the door. She pulls out a key. It's a key she's always had. She unlocks the door. The door opens. A little tough at first because you're pulling it open against the snow. But it does open, where you are immediately met with the warm air coming from the inside and the inviting warm light of the various sconces with ever burning flames spells on them. You step in, you close the door, she locks it behind her, and she begins walking down the hallway. Finds a set of stairs, goes up, walks through a few more hallways, and eventually makes her way into the main hall, which is empty, save but for a few acolytes who are quietly reading on some of the side chairs in that area, who probably appreciate a large room. Through the stained glass, you can hear the clinkling against it of the snowflakes hitting and the ice chunks as they fall. And you make your way into the library hall area of many where Sahir's office is. The lights are low in the library, but there are lights. Where are you attempting to go now, Turja?
Some place where there will be someone higher ranked than an acolyte that I can talk to so I can get to the head priest.
Turning around, you go back into the main hall. Oops.
Carlo thinks this is the exact way you have to get here. This is all trick. This is Ogma. Yeah, it's all trickery.
Oh, yeah. So you walk through a few more halls, get to some stairs, and you get to what would normally be the front office reception area. There is a lone figure sitting watch at a desk The doors closed behind him, and a small fire burning in that office area. He is reading through a book as you come in.
I go to his desk and I say,
Oh, yes. He looks up from his book and places a bookmark neatly within.
first things first. Can you detect magic?
Me personally, no. I'm just I'm here on watch. What's the problem? I can schedule you to see anyone you need to. Like, obviously you're with the temple. You have the badge. You show the symbol of your association.
Yes.
And you're obviously standing before me, so no one's tried to kill you or kill no
the
one.
night is young.
Well, you haven't tried to kill anyone in the temple that I'm aware of. Checks your hands for blood. So, what can I do for you?
I'm the one who was sent to find Sahir.
Okay.
You're aware he's missing.
Yes.
We found him.
Oh, good. Is he alive?
He's alive. He's not himself. There's evidence that somebody might have been surveilling me magically as we retrieved him. Surveilling us, I should say. I need somebody to verify that if there was magical surveillance, it's gone now. And I need somebody to I'm afraid to bring him back to the temple because I don't know what the people who took him did to him.
Garlo's gonna just tug on Turge's robe for a sec and just be like, "You trust this guy?"
I have to trust someone. I have to tell someone. We need help. We can't handle this by ourselves.
I don't know. Is there a priest? All right. And Garlo will spend a psionic die. We're not within a mile of the portal, right? Of the yawning portal.
You are just outside of a mile of the portal.
So then it would not work with them. So that's out. So I will roll a d6 and I will bring this guy into my psychic network and just be like, all right, now speak freely. We don't know if something's watching us.
Well, I actually said pretty much everything I have to already.
Yeah, figured. But as far as he seems out of sorts, we found him as well as another fella. But do your priests have any means of extradited healing or ability to break something's control over someone?
Or if he's possessed, or if some spell was put on him to make him not himself.
Or if there's just a way to magically check him out to make sure he's all there. All the marbles are in the bag.
I'm afraid there's a mistake here. So, I'm an acolyte. I'm a priest. I'm not a cleric. I'm not a chosen. I'm a worshiper, a believer in knowledge for knowledge's sake, and understanding and growth and everything that goes with that. And I'm hoping to be one of the great scholars eventually to work out of Candlekeep itself. But to the things you're asking for be to speak to the high priest, the cleric. He's a cleric as well, but he's also the high priest. It's a whole lot of confounding paths of glory and blah blah blah. But he is sleeping right now.
Well, we can't.
Are you trying to say that this is of such consequence that he must be awoken immediately?
If you were my person, I'd want to be woken immediately.
I heard yes, and I heard a whole lot of extra words that didn't sound like yes. What did you mean? Yes. Okay. And who should I say is coming? And what exactly do you want me to tell the high priest that's going to make them, when they get up out of bed, not wring my neck immediately?
That we found. Tell him that Turja has come, that we found Sahir and that we need help dealing with him to make sure he's all right.
Okay, come with me. And he walks you out the door. He closes the door. He beckons you to a series of long padded bench seats. There happens to be some magazines and what does he call it? Broadsheets sitting on the tables, because everybody reads stuff here all the time. It's plenty of reading, right? Wait here. I'll be back shortly. And at that point, he takes off, walks down quite a few halls, goes through a door, locks the door behind him, and he's gone.
Garlo in the network, because you can choose who you talk to, so it's not just like a broadband, everything. Talks to Turja and says, should we be worried about the things that we say here? Our wizard friend was awful worried that Manchun was able to get inside here, and wasn't Zahir taken from in here? So does that mean there could be other people working with Manchun?
Yes.
Should we go to Drakewood about this? I mean, he's worked with these temple folks before.
I don't see why Drakewood would have any stake in this.
Stake, but help? I mean, this is pretty high and above our pay grade. He seems... I mean, we're doing less than legal work for him, but he seems to be putting, like, working for at least more of the angels than the devils, I'd say. They got that plate away from whoever was trying to get it, which I imagine is probably Manchun. They were the ones that were tasked with finding it.
I don't know whether we tell Drakewood or not. Clearly the temple, the high priest needs to know that Manchun's waltzing in and out of his temple, and clearly So he isn't Drakewood's person. He's Manchun's person. He's the high priest's person. He's the temple's person.
I'm not refuting that part. I just don't know which of these walls have eyes and ears, and if we can trust every person that's walking around in them.
That's why I wanted to get the high priest first.
And with that, we transition back to a lovely tavern.
This bread is amazing.
Crumbs just falling down.
Glad you like it.
Oh, this wine's good. I'm so sleepy. We should all tire it in for the night,
Yes, absolutely. Luciano definitely needs a nap, considering he's already on the floor. And Sim and I will just stand guard, make sure that nobody sneaks in here.
Why is he snuggling that decanter so much?
He's a man who knows what he likes.
That's true. Doesn't that have... Why has it got seashells all over the decanter? That's really weird. Oh, well.
It's thematic.
Yeah. Hey, here's something for you, Rafe. I made this while we were sitting here. You see these two things? If you spin this little wheel against this thing, it makes little electrical sparks.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it'll help you light a fire.
Certainly would, if I had any problems.
Well, sometimes not everything works the way you're hoping it will.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's, yeah. Anyway, I'm really tired now. I've had an exhausting day.
Well, then you should get some rest, just like Zahir is.
I will. Anyway, what else are you guys gonna do? Isn't somebody staying up?
Yes, Sim and I are going to stand watch.
Oh, good. Alright. Well, you guys seem like the adventuring type. So, let's stick with that. I'm just gonna... He just knocks off right there.
That took forever.
Yes, well, the powers of Elven Frostwine never fail. Just really slow this time.
Honestly, I'm just impressed. It's a little dude that held a lot. Good for
Yeah,
him.
I mean, not unlike Garlo.
That's a good point.
Now, where did Luciano get to?
He's on the floor.
Oh, he really is on the floor. Interesting. I thought Gorf was giving me
Nope, he's on the floor in whatever clothing he was wearing, because he changed up his clothing again. And he's got this decanter in his arms that he's had the whole time, and he's just holding it tight.
At this point, I think my feet are gonna be like up on the table that we have had the food and pulling out the braids and shaking them loose. Okay, so we found her person, right? And there's a madman on the loose. Are we responsible for that, or are we like in the clear now?
Well, I don't know. We're responsible for the madman. He was there before we got there, and apparently he's still there, even though we got rid of at least one of him.
So
no.
we're not in charge of that. Someone else will take care of it?
Well, probably not, but hopefully.
Okay. Because she got her person. I need to go take care of my person. And I
It's
I don't
just
know.
after high moon, which is midnight. You hear a shh from under the door. It's a broadsheet. Apparently everybody who rents a room gets a broadsheet. In the case of the hostel, it's one broadsheet for all of you. But there's a broadsheet for the next day's news.
Well, that has to be more interesting than whatever I was going to say. And immediately pop up and rush to the broadsheet.
You pick it up. You flip through it. There's no secret messages that you can see. But the headlines are... the Elven diplomats furious. War possible between the elves and Waterdeep. They are demanding to know where the Queen's daughter is.
Man, it's a real bad time for a war.
There's a
well.
sale at Aurora's on winter coats, strangely enough, and booze. Let's see here.
Coats
They're
and
not
booze.
having a big summer
Boots
blowout.
or booze?
Booze.
Why not both?
What a sale. I like Aurora's already.
Yeah. Let's see here. And there's a couple other things about various different strange criminal activities taking place with only the scene being found of giant rat footprints. There's a couple other things. Something about a fire being started at a place called... What's the name of that place? The Rusty Nail, I think it is.
The crappy bar that what's
That
his
Rook
face
hangs
ran.
out at?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was a fire there, apparently, which catches Sim's eye.
yeah, whatever.
Sure hope they're alive. Wow, the news sure is boring at night. Anyways, I slide it over to Rafe. Let's pull out the comic section.
I'll take a look at it and be like, it's weird how an Elven Kingdom went ahead and just lost a princess like that.
It's super irresponsible. You'd think they would keep a closer eye on their kids.
There
Yeah,
is
I
some
agree.
side notes in there that Rafe gets because he reads more than headlines. There's something to be said about the fact that the Open Lord of Waterdeep is an elf herself, and that's the only thing they're saying that has kept the balance and prevented an all-out threats of war from the elves. But the Forest
Apparently-
Queen wants her daughter. and they know she is somewhere in this city.
Apparently, the Open Lord has a pre-existing relationship with the Forest Queen, and that is the only thing that is keeping them from going to war.
Well, sure hope that stays.
Well, they seem confident that their princess is in the city, and the city is closed because it's winter, so they don't really need a war right now. They just need to search the city from top to bottom.
There's like so many elves, though. It could be anyone, really.
Right. Anyone. Any elf at all. There's only like 5,000-6,000 of them in the city, right?
So they'll probably get through them, like by the end of winter, and the city opens up and we can leave, right? We can leave?
I don't see why not.
Okay. I can't be, right? I know like the odds. It can't be. I've been elsewhere. It doesn't make any sense.
You can't be what?
I don't know. There's a nice thought in my head. Is it nice? It's a thought. It's just a thought that, like, wouldn't it be neat if that was me? Because I don't really know. I mean, maybe Arthade knows, but I don't really know. But at the same time, boy, that'll be embarrassing if it's like, hello, it's me, your long lost daughter, and then you're like, no, idiot, it's someone else. Like, I don't know. Either possibility is terrifying. I'm not into it.
That seems fair. Where did you last see Arthane anyway?
Arthade? He was in the Feywild last I know. Checked. Heard.
Well, maybe eventually we can go ask him.
We probably should do more than just ask. I owe him. I need to get him. I need to get him out.
Well, that's going to involve a lot of favor trading.
Yeah, but like I'm good at that.
No, what favors are you going to offer Faye?
It's well,
All you have to offer is like 3 names.
I have so many more names. You know better than that. I think if we can find a way in, I don't think it's gonna take long to find him. It's not like I'm a wanted person over there. It's just I got out, and there might be someone looking for me.
Sure. Well, whoever your warden was, I'm certain is looking for you. The question is, are they still in the Feywild, or have they left?
She like has her own land there, so I imagine she's still there.
Well, then we should avoid her and anyone who is closely associated with her.
Arthade might be with her. I hate to keep throwing kind of kinks in these plans. I just think it's gonna be real complicated.
Certainly sounding very complicated.
And it's kind of why I need to know if I can leave. And if I can't do it alone, but also I'm not sure about, and like wave vaguely at the priests.
Well, whenever Terja gets back, we can ask her if she has time to do research on teleporting in and out of the Feywild.
Yeah.
Because we will definitely want to teleport out of the Feywild afterwards, but I'm not sure about in.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, she'd probably be real good at that. You're right.
Just bring it up without context. I'm sure she'll be about it.
Yeah, and like I'm immediately gonna start braiding my hair, and it's like braiding, unbraiding, braiding, unbraiding, and falling quiet at this point.
At that point, we switch back to Garlo and Terja. Garlo, Terja, you're sitting there. It's a long, quiet moment, and then you hear a lock at the end of the hall. A door opens. The acolyte comes out, followed by a much taller man, whom you do recognize as the high priest and high cleric of Agma of this temple.
I stand up when he comes in.
Garlo doesn't know proper etiquette, so he bows.
It is a late night. Acolyte, open the door and then leave us. He opens the door dutifully, opens the next door to his office, and steps out. You guys step into the main chamber where the Temple of Ogma High Cleric's office is, and he walks in. Now he's wearing not his full robes, but he's wearing his underrobes and a coat.
He got one of them cool Ebenezer Scrooge hats on.
No, but he does have a warm hat on. He looks over at the fire, clicks his fingers, twists a ring, and the fire lights. He tells me that Sahir has been found. And I must say, you guys don't look exactly great for the better.
Before it goes any further, Garlo's gonna look at Terja and just like tap his head. Well, actually, we're still connected. Should I do a new loop with him in it? Do we feel like talking out loud?
You're up to you, man.
Garlo's gonna be like, your holiness, holy manness, priestman, would it be all right if we've run afoul of a powerful individual, and secrecy is a bit of a insurance for us. I would love to have this conversation not out loud.
Hold for a moment. Please, take seats. He walks over to a orb on a 3-legged pedestal, touches it once, twice, 3 times, and as it does so, it changes from nothing to bright red to green, and then eventually shifts to a blue on its own. At that point, you see an eye blink out. That it appeared briefly as it faded in and then blinked out. Well, that's perturbing.
I wince and I say, I'm sorry. I was afraid of that, but I'm magically dry at the moment. I can't cast any more spells tonight.
The hell is that thing?
We were surveilled as we left the place where we found Sahir. I was afraid to mention it. I didn't know if it was still surveilling us. Apparently it was. I'm sorry we brought it here. I didn't know what else to do.
Garlo, because the psychic chat is still open, is like, these are the things that we should tell everybody from now on. It's just like a pinned message. But no, and going in.
Well,
then I guess we're free to talk then.
You should be protected from any prying eyes. It's a anti-divination spell, if you will. It's tied to this object. I can only do this once per day and only for an hour. So please, let's make it quick. So you found Sahir. Is he okay? Is he in one piece?
He's physically in one piece, but he's not himself.
And who had him? What happened?
It was Manchun. A Manchun.
The Merciless? I believe they called him.
The Malevolent.
Probably other M words.
So Manchun is back.
Appears that way. He had your man and a gnomish artificer working on a bunch of other gizmos and gadgets, but most importantly, an artificial arm that was able to do all manner of spellcraft.
See. And where is he now? Where is Sahir now?
The Yawning Portal. I was afraid to bring him here while, as I said, he's not himself. He's behaving very oddly. His voice is different, and
it's different?
He was keen on eating rare meat, and that disturbs me.
Well, he always did like a good steak with his wine.
This seemed like more than that.
I think, Your Holiness, it's more of a question that we have him. We are just cautious because we don't have any means to make sure that he is right and sound.
Safe, including from himself.
Apparently some awful things were done, but he has been very tight-lipped about it. We're just trying to be very certain. It's also, and then in our chat, are we going to tell him about Manchun sneaking into the library?
Yes.
We're worried because Manchun, we think, snatched him up while he was here. And apparently, Manchun can come and go into this temple as he wills it.
Well,
Apparently he's been skulking around your libraries looking for particular books.
This wouldn't be the first time that a wily wizard has decided to check in and not check in, if you will. There's not a lot I can do about it. It would take quite a bit of extra work to make the temple wizard-proof.
I understand that, but is this
Wizards
the
are
first
like
time?
Wizards are kind of two ways. It's like this. You can't make anything idiot-proof, and you certainly can't make anything wizard-proof. You know what I mean? And the two opposite sides of the coin. Sometimes they're the same side, but that's irrelevant.
I can understand, but it seems like he instead of checking out a book, checked out one of your priests here.
Yes, the question isn't so much that he did it. The question is why. I think that's best answered if we bring Sahir here as soon as possible. We're quite studied on, as part of our clerical training, it's quite studied on dealing with trauma and pain that comes with that. And it's not uncommon for people who've been through traumatic events to be not quite themselves for a little while.
It seemed like more than that as well. I actually was concerned about perhaps some sort of possession. Or if they did some sort of transformation on him. Something to alter his nature in some way.
What makes you say that, my child?
It was the way he behaved. It was too... I don't know how to define it. It was just wrong.
Very well.
Is there any chance you have perhaps another gifted member of your order that we could meet at either come with us to the portal, or perhaps do you have a satellite church somewhere else here in Waterdeep? Like a chapel or something? I only ask Your Holiness because it was, he was very particular about coming here to meet you. And if Turja says that he was acting strange, it seems like perhaps that might be something to not let him do right off the bat, if that makes sense.
Well...
Perhaps there's a guarded chamber in here that he could stay in for a while. Some sort of magically safe chamber, magically safe from a divination of...
No, there's nothing that's completely safe unless I put him in a magic circle.
That's where I found him.
Well, they would probably put him in one. You sure it was a magic circle?
Positive.
That would have kept us from finding him, potentially. It would have protected him from being divinated.
That reminds me, he was unconscious until we took him out of the circle, and when I took him out, he woke up, and then he was just able to... He acted like he was physically fine. Beyond, obviously, being somewhat stiff and sore, but...
Magic circles can be imbued with a lot of things.
This one had the eye watching it. It might be the same eye the whole time.
Your Holiness, I think it's just fair to say that we are just cautious, and we care to make sure this man is safe and sound. We just want to bring our concerns to you before we act upon it. So as long as you are prepared to help in case anything like that happens. I know you can't, nothing's wizard proof, as you said, but just,
So you know what to expect. What to
or if
prepare for.
there's something.
You have my full blessings to bring him here when you feel it's safe to do so. It's late. Get some rest. Go home. Come here in the morning.
I don't suppose your spell cancelled that eye. Will it come back when it cancels the spell?
If the eye is here when it comes back, it'll be an empty room.
Right.
Garlo in the chat drops into, it's like, we could go and see Drakewood. We got that when we robbed that boat. The thing that we took from him. It was a anti-detection bit, wasn't it?
I say in the psychic chat, his necklace, his amulet.
Wasn't it about hiding from people trying to find people?
It hides you from people trying to search you out with magic.
Sounds like a floating eyeball to me.
That's
And
alright. Yes.
And then there's like a thumbs
Let's
up
get it.
emoji. It's now turned into an actual chat.
Yeah.
But Garlo stands and bows. Thank you, Your Holiness.
He smirks every time you say that to him, too. Like, Holy, he just kind of looks at you and goes, yes, well, go home, get some rest. If you go to the stables, and he hands you a piece of paper, just tell the stableman, knock on his door, wake him up, that you have the rights to 2 horses to use.
Thank you.
Yes, well, just bring them back, okay?
Of course.
Right. Anyway, best of luck. See you in the morning. Or hell, make it the afternoon. I'm sure he could use a lot of sleep.
Fair enough. Garlo stands to get going.
All right. And you guys walk yourselves out and down, and he comes out and tells the acolyte, thank you very much. The post is back to you. I'll find my own way to my room. And you guys part ways. And we travel back to Rafe and Sim, where we'll take a brief moment to check in to see if they're awake or sleeping.
I only need 4 hours, so I can take this first shift easy.
Okay.
Yep. I think at this point we're still just hanging out, waiting to see if Garlo and Terja come back, or if they're probably going to be gone for the rest of the night.
Okay. And with that, Garlo and Terja do come in about an hour later. They put the horses back in the stable at the one that's across the street that the yawning portal uses, and you find your ways back into the room, snow covered, but thawing quickly, and find yourselves beds and take your shifts until the next morning. And with that, we're going to take Go ahead.
Garlo drops another psychic die and patches
How many of those do
everybody
you
in.
have?
I get a couple and they come back on short rests, so it's great. But I'll drop it and then just fill everybody in just before we go to bed. Garlo's basically like in bed, like he's taking off his boots, he's like crawling underneath the blankets and stuff, but he's just like relaying everything, and it's all like yawns and whatnot, and then crawls in and goes to bed.
Okay. And with that, we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to find out what happens next as the adventurers take action.
An anemone.
Now y'all are saying anemone.
No, I said
Phenomenon.
phenomenon.
Phenomenon. But all right, so we're back. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's see here. I'm checking my list of things here. You guys are asleep, except for who's awake at the last one?
Probably Luciano has the last watch.
Yeah, he fell asleep early.
Yeah, he was the first one to sleep.
That's true.
All right. Luciano's awake then?
Yep.
All right. Okay. So Luciano's awake. Eventually, a few roosters from around the city start going in. And you guys start to wake up. I will say that Gorf, Greygem, and Sahir are still sleeping.
Sorry, I just got a Lucy inspiration for what to do about them. Because Garlo, through the night, was just like, I think as they wake up, Garlo's like, all right, we got to bring these guys to the Temple of Agma. Stuff can get exploded. We've got to do something. But then remembers Lucy. He's traded up. He's got, magic and the hat of disguise and spells. He can do shite all day. But when we started out, a young Lucy bought his costumes. And there are still 3 sets of costumes in the shared treasure. So Garlo wakes up and goes to grab the bag from Rafe. It's like, I need to go look for Lucy's things. I think they're in the bottom of the bag.
Oh,
I think
sure. There's a lot of clothing in there, by the way.
Yeah, I think Garlo's almost like head and arm in the bag because he's so small. So it's just like full in, just like looking around. But I believe in the shared treasure, there are 3 sets of costumes, which, if I remember correct from my notes, it is a chef, a merchant, and a priest? I believe so. Well, so we'll get rid of the priest. So we have a chef and a merchant costume for them when they wake up.
Okay. All right. So which one are you wearing now, if any?
I've just got them out. We're gonna put Zahir and Greygem in costumes when we bring them where they need to be. They're in witness protection right now.
Okay.
But then, yeah, when Garlo wakes up, I think, I think we'll look at the others. Do we just want to get breakfast up here, or do we want to go down, stretch our legs for a minute?
Let's get
Lucy, you okay with babysitting?
Gorf will freak out if everybody is not here when he wakes up.
We can leave a note.
That would make him especially anxious.
I hate babysitting.
Fair enough. Sim, you want to go? We'll go grab drinks and breakfast?
Yeah, I do. Let's go.
We're gonna go downstairs and grab stuff for the. We're gonna go raid the continental breakfast. A bunch of apples, bunch of danishes, little things of yogurt.
Oh,
Struggle with
they
a
have
waffle maker.
a continental breakfast kind of like things, but it's way better than anything you'll get at one of those Holiday Inn Expresses. Ye old Holiday Inn Express. Yeah, they don't have anything.
They keepeth the light on for thee.
Okay.
Right. So I think as we're going down, I think Garlo will just be, anything eventful happen on your guys' end last night as we're doing all this?
I got a threaten Sahir. That was kind of fun.
You what?
He wouldn't sleep. It's fine. Nothing bad happened.
I'm pretty sure Tertia is still in the room with everybody else, so no reactions.
Dang. Yeah, so there's that, and we got the broadsheet. Saw the broadsheet, right?
I mean, they didn't have any comics in it, so I didn't pay much attention to it.
Oh yeah, it's strange. I wonder why not.
Yeah.
Um, but there might be a war. I guess it doesn't. That's not important. The rusty nail burned down. Apparently, that's
It
kind
didn't.
of
It didn't burn down. It caught fire.
it burned down. Apparently. Um,
Oh, yikes.
so
That
that might be fun to go see. Maybe if it's burned down enough, we could just buy it and we could just have a thing. That'd be cool. Um, and that's really it. How was your time with Terja? What was that like?
I think it was good, but I think that maybe we're making a step in the right direction. Are you good with Turja?
Sure. Yeah, it is what it is at this point, Carlo.
Is there anything that could make it better? Make it what it was than what it is?
I guess I'd probably have to think on that. I don't know. I don't know if I can really trust her with our safety. Which is ironic, I understand, considering that's what she's concerned about. So really, we're not so different after all. It's like scooping in scrambled eggs onto my plate. I don't know.
Garlo doesn't look at the take one sign on the bacon, and there's just like so much.
I just, I just feel like when the going gets tough, when she gets scared, she bolts, and there's still some stuff I gotta do, and I just don't know if she can hold up to it. And so I don't know. There's not really anything to make right. Just gotta prove herself if she wants to prove herself, you know?
I don't think her bolting comes out of fear as much as it is comes out of survival. I don't think she's had the opportunity to be in a group like this before. I mean, granted, none of us have. But I think maybe she's come from rocky circumstances that make it hard to trust. And I'm not saying that nothing, I mean, I'm not excusing any actions. I'm just saying that maybe we can start to rebuild something.
Yeah. If Lucy says we're cool, I'll take Lucy's word on it.
Hmm.
So, but otherwise, it's a professional relationship, and I'm sure everything will be fine. She hasn't tried to purposely kill us, so we're probably good. And I appreciate what you're doing, Carlo. It's very noble of you. Stack of blueberry muffins.
Oh, the blueberry muffins. Good choice. Good choice. Blueberries.
Garlo
totally
like
not
turns
in
and
season.
tries to go for one of the blueberries, and it's all bran that's left. And it's like, oh!
Should we get
Sure.
food for everyone else?
I mean, they'll get it themselves. They're fine.
Yeah, like waves. Okay, yeah, sure, no problem.
Lady breaks out a thing of Snow Beetle's apple muffins. Fresh baked.
That like the Scooby-Doo stack of like food. And it's like, one more wouldn't hurt.
Exactly. I'll just put it on there for you. There you go.
Grabs it in his mouth. Oh my.
Perfect, like an apple. No, aren't you just a cute little stuck piggy there?
Well, I know.
As she walks on.
Head back upstairs.
Yep.
All right, so you guys head upstairs. You open the door. Luciano's like, oh, man, I am so tired. It was so rough running this thing. Whew, but everybody's safe. Everybody's safe.
Thanks to you, Lucy.
Yeah. These guys are really sleeping.
I mean, to be fair, it seems like they've probably been through a bit more than we have. Actually, like saying that and then like looking around at like Garlo's feeling pretty good. Seeing Lucy's had a long rest, seeing the others. How exactly does Sim look? Miss multiple levels of exhaustion.
She looks better than she did. Still a little sleepy, still a little like dark underneath the eyes. I don't think I've taken the time to really fully fix hair yet. Since I've been putting it up and braids like in a ponytail, it's like half of it's done, kind of toddler style. Like slept on it. It's not its best.
I toss in my hairbrush.
Do you want me to brush your hair?
No, I thought you might like to brush your hair.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Sure.
just saw you. You seem self-conscious. I thought you might like to.
That's nice. Thank you. That's real nice. And like cautiously start brushing. Eyeballing my blueberry muffins so someone doesn't steal them.
I steal one.
just like doing the like pacing.
The betrayal.
Garlo jumps on Lucy's bed and just like full on just kind of cannonballs into Lucy and then gives him one of the bran muffins. Not one of the good apple ones. But so and then kicks on because on top of having several of these things, the first time I use it is free. So I'm gonna roll a die and kick
First
on the
hit's
group
free.
chat.
Okay.
First hit's free. Oh, and it's only 1 hour. Yeah, it's a real trial period.
You
So
gotta get the
kicked in the-
subscription in fully, man.
Yep.
It's like
the
this is the way it
the
is.
first month they give you.
Yeah.
But all right. So what are we thinking? Turja and I talked to the head holymaness over at the church and says that we can bring Sahir around. Do we want to do the same with Grey Gem or Rafe? Do you want to take
He
him back
really
to?
doesn't want to go back to the temple. Like, really, really doesn't want to go back to the temple.
Okay.
Your co-religionist doesn't want to go back to his own temple.
He's convinced that Manchun can get him there, or really anywhere, but there specifically. Which is justified considering that's where he was taken from the first time.
Probably if the other priests at the Temple of Gondon know that Manchun is waltzing in and out, they'll take precautions.
I'm not sure what sort of precautions they could take that would stop Manchun, but
Perhaps they could appeal to the Black Staff. They're a major temple of the city, after all. They deserve the city's protection.
well, as we saw earlier, the Black Staff is rather busy with all of the other problems, including that necromancer and evil weather patterns and whatnot.
So, do we want to? I'm just running through our options here, just like a little like the prayer hands to Turja in the group chat. But like, do we want to talk to Drake about these sorts of things? I mean, man's pretty secretive, and if we need to try to squirrel someone away until they're safe, I mean, as far as our contacts here in the city, he seems like the most likely. Or I mean, if we did want to go talk to Brooke.
That reminds me. I cast Detect Magic, and I want to see if there's an eye still following me around.
There is not.
Well, I
did
wouldn't.
The others.
I wouldn't believe that Rook would be capable of hiding somebody. I mean, mundane searchers, sure. Magical searchers, less so. I'm also not sure that Drakewood has the resources either.
Well, but I told Terji yesterday if we're being followed, which,
We're not right now, with the records. I just checked.
perfect. There's an eyeball floating around as we left the tower. Got zapped while we were at the church by the holymaness, so I mean, got that taken care of. But if we're trying to scoot under a radar, I mean that's the thing we stole from the wizard, right? Thumbwild. We stole a necklace that kept eyes off you.
Oh, you're talking about the one that Drakewood needed. Pretty sure he has a
I mean-
reason for needing it. Like, that might relate to his own issues.
Yeah,
Even
but I
if
might have did him a
doesn't, there are
favor.
2 of them.
I mean, magical amulets don't really grow on trees, as far as I know.
Garland
Unless they're
takes a
made of
pause
wood.
because he
I
does
suppose
not
technically
know
they
if that's
do.
not how it happens. What's that?
Unless they're made of wood, then I suppose they do grow on trees.
Fair. I mean, if not his exactly, then maybe he would have the bead on another one. Or, I mean,
Which
we could try to get
we
in
would
contact with Thumbwild again.
steal? Or...
Steal, borrow, find. Seems like it's pretty good in our hands versus someone else's.
Thumbwild sounded like he'd cut my thumbs off if he realized that I was the one who stole his amulet. Let's not run into him again.
I mean, we could buy as respectable individuals, but we're also in
Didn't-
Waterdeep.
He crashed his ship in the middle of nowhere?
No, we crashed it. Because we turned off all the magic, remember?
He, they, us. The ship crashed.
The ship. There was some crashing involved. We have no idea what happened.
I'm actually
well-
more amenable to taking the priests to Drakewood than I was. I didn't...
Well, let's not take them
I
to
found the High
Drakewood,
Priest far too much to say about the idea.
since we know we were being followed, and it's likely that we're going to be followed again, and it's almost certain that Manchun has something to use to scry on them. So let's not take them to see Drakewood, and simply go see Drakewood
They're not
ourselves.
scrying on us now. I would know.
No, you wouldn't. You would know if there was a magical item in the area.
No, if there were magic, when I cast the detect magic spell before, I saw the eye following me. The eye is no longer here. I checked.
You're still
I
checking,
remember-
actually, as you manage.
If I remember correctly, scrying actually does not ping detect magic. Objects that have divination magic attached to them do, but
No,
not the spells themselves.
Scrying reveals if you're using. There's a specific scrying spell that if detect magic shows up, it shows an eye.
Okay.
Watch it. That normally you would not see, but detect magic makes it appear.
Yeah, sorry, I was just thinking through that, and I actually don't know that Rafe would know that, so I'm going to drop it. Well, I would still caution bringing either of them to West Mercantile. Maybe the Happy Axe Peak, and even then, I would be concerned because
The next door.
clearly someone is chasing after us
Well-
or them, or more likely, considering what Grey Gem said last night, Sahir's books.
What?
Don't say anything.
Well, it's in the
Well,
group
we're all
chat.
talking in private chat. We're all talking in our heads.
In private
Okay.
chat. I love it.
I just
Don't say
realized
anything
though,
out
like
loud.
the camera panning, it's just a group of us making like ASMR eating noises
And
in this
and
room.
faces
Yeah.
as you're doing it.
What about
Don't-
Sia's book? And this is all in our heads.
According to Gorf, during the interrogation of Sahir, Manchun was more interested in one of his books, and I don't know that Gorf would know anything about Sahir outside of the fact, perhaps, that he was an Ogmythe, but one of his books had Manchun's interest, and apparently Manchun never found it.
I say, well, it almost certainly must be his journal because any of the other books that Sahir had would be in his office, and clearly Sahir had free access to there.
Right. Which means that whatever it is, wherever it is, we definitely don't talk about it. And as far as anyone's concerned, any books that were mentioned are mine or Vale's or
The ones you
otherwise
looted from the
indisposed.
crypt.
Yes. Well, let's not call them looted. Let's call them acquired.
Wow. Whew, I slept for the best I think I've ever slept in a long time. Oh, food. You guys are so prepared.
Submarine fighting for her life to keep her blueberry.
Is that a
muffin.
blueberry muffin?
Put them in closer.
Is
Like,
that a
those are
blueberry
fine.
muffin?
No, they're gross. They're poison muffins.
Oh,
and then
the
she takes a
raisins.
big bite.
Oh, I hate raisins. I'm just gonna go with. Are these bran muffins?
Full of fiber. It's important.
Good for you.
Who thought these were ever a good idea?
You know, he starts eating a bran muffin. His
There's
hair is like crazy right now because he just doesn't care. Like he's just
yeah,
woken.
there's one more of the apple muffins like right next to it, and Garlo puts the whole thing in his mouth.
How long were we out for?
It's like 10 in the morning now.
Let's call it 14 bells.
You needed the rest.
There's an ellipses in the group chat. Garlo doesn't know what that is. So I think here, go ahead and we grab. Take the fight Lucy for the wine decanter and pour some wine in one of the glasses we had from last night. Set up a little bit of like continental thing for him in his bed. Here, I got the broadsheet for you too. You go ahead and just take it easy for a little bit. We're just figuring out next steps here. And then in our group chat, just be like, okay, I don't know. I can understand going directly to West Mercantile, bad idea. But I think Axbeak probably isn't. And I think I don't know what else we can do at this point, Rafe, because we are already drawing the ire of this wizard. And if we have just another glowing tag on us, I mean, it just seems like it's easier for us to be found.
Just don't want to drag the fight to their front door.
Well, to be perfectly frank, it seems like this Manchun fellow is the one who is after the information on the obelisks, maybe? All this stuff all seems connected to me. It's all wrapped up and tied up.
Yeah.
Based on what I read in his journal, he's an expert on these obelisks. Insofar as anyone is, that is.
So it seems a fair assumption that is the case. In which case, I don't even know who should tell. Who would care?
The Blackstaff? The Open Lords? Or the Council Lords of Waterdeep? The Open Lords?
We should approach the Open Lord, yes. The Blackstaff is almost certainly not going to see us. Too busy. But the Open Lord, we mentioned this, and we mentioned that Manchun specifically was after it. So it's likely to act.
You see Sahir starting to stir a little bit.
Meanwhile, I think, yes, definitely take them to the Happy Axbeak and see if the bartender's name is R something? I can't remember off the top of my head.
You have Olvir.
No, not the
dwarven
dwarf.
bartender.
The one who stands behind the bar, not Olvir.
Olvir stands behind the bar.
No, he's talking about the beak, not the portal.
Yeah.
That's Olvir.
That's Olvir.
Yeah,
It's always
Durnan,
Olvir?
Durnan is the guy who stands. No, it's not always Olvir. Sometimes there's a half-orc who also works there, but whose name escapes you.
Yeah, the big one.
Olvir is the only one who's introduced you to his full name that I recall. But the Happy Axbeak, that's Olvir. The Yawning Portal, it's Durnan and his crew, like whichever ones, because he's more than just one bartender there.
Whoever Olvir's like daytime bartender is, that's the one I'm thinking of. The big, you said the half orc, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if he has time to reach out to some connections. Maybe we can get Sahir and Gorf out of the city.
I personally, we told the folks at the Temple of Agma, His Holiness, that what we suspected, we told him to be prepared for it. I feel like that ball is heading into his cart, and we just see where it plays at that point. I mean,
and then Sahir's body rolls off the bed. Oh, God. Oh. He gets up, and he's like, oh,
Well,
my
I guess it does
back,
make
it
sense
hurts.
to turn Sahir over because he has no
Ah,
predilection
oh my
about
gosh.
being left behind,
Yeah.
unlike Gorf.
You're here. I thought it was a dream.
Are you alright to hear? I'm sorry about the hidden. I'm not sure what I'm sorry for. I didn't do anything.
But it's so good to see you, Sturja. And I guess your friends. But first things first. You got anything to drink?
You know, when you said first things first, I sort of assumed you'd want a bath or some food.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I gotta take a mean piss. But
That too?
yeah, I do. But short term, I could really go for a. So is that ice wine? Oh, is that bottle empty? Oh,
Yeah, sorry. Looks like it
Yeah.
is.
you got a flask or something? Anything? Little
I
something to
take
get
out
through?
Sahir's old flask and I hand it.
Oh, you sweet darling, you. Ah, takes it, pops it open. Oh, you sweet nectar. Oh, he just tucks it neatly into his own robes.
Of course he does.
Ah, ooh. This whole outfit looks like shite. Anyway, so how long
Food?
have I been out? Food? Well, not food. Well, of course some food, but I gotta take a mean pisser.
Bath?
Well, no, not necessarily. I wouldn't ever piss in my own bath. That sounds
You know
terrible.
what I
Why would you
mean.
do that? Oh, no, I don't. But anyway, look. Do you know where the bathroom is? Luciano
I
goes,
assumed the
yeah, I
hostel
do.
was-
I know where it is. I used it a couple times last night. Do you mind escorting me there, sir? Luciano kind of looks at you guys.
This is
Sure.
something guys can do. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And he steps out with Luciano in tow.
Garlo, because I assume this is like old school hotel vibes where the bathroom is just at the end of the hall for
Yep.
like communal things. So Garlo just like posts up in the door with it open, just like looking, so he's got eyes on the door. Just to make sure if anything happens.
Thank you.
So,
Oh, and we're still
Sahir,
psychic linked, so
yeah.
Lucy can let us know.
So here we can drop off at the Temple of Agma and let them deal with it. Gorf, I think, should be able to find a way to get him out of the city at the Happy Axe Peak. Somebody there will know a way.
Just maybe point of interest might take longer. I don't know. We could just reach out to Drakewood. He might be willing to like make a plan for us without us having to trek him across and then maybe get caught. I don't know. It just seems like an easier way to go about it.
Garlo
Yes.
hears this as he's getting ready to hold up the chef coat for Grey Gem. So that's
What-
smart. That's
what-
smarter.
I'm supposed to put this on.
You still
No,
can.
nothing.
You,
Yeah,
that's
you
right.
still can.
Do
Live
I
your
put this
dream.
on? It's why is this size for me?
Because it's made for you.
The arms
with
seem a
love.
little floppy.
With love. If you don't want it, I can wear it.
is this the plan?
We don't have a plan, man. We're just kind of following our hearts right now.
Wait, you guys don't have a plan, and you want me to put on an outfit?
We're
just walk
working
across
on
the-
it. Calm down. It's
Tell
gonna
me
be
you have a
fine.
plan.
What
I
do
pour
you
him another
want?
glass, a very big glass. That's all right. There
And
you
he
go.
just takes it. Thank you.
Garlo calms him down by pulling out one of the extra apple muffins that he had put in his pocket.
You've been holding out on me, but thank you. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you.
Just Garlo's like gnome to gnome. I mean, you're always packing. You're always packing carbs.
Yeah, well, it's hard when you've been stuck in a place and all your carbs ran out. I ran out on it in 48 hours of getting in that place.
I hear you.
It was terrible. Terrible. They did
Once-
nothing but hard biscuits.
My God.
Yes.
Uh,
Not even buttered.
Inhuman.
All kinds
Inhuman's
of
what
wrong.
that is.
In gnomish.
Yeah, they both start cursing in Gnomish. Just lots of just like Irish profanity sort of things, just like over and over. Yeah, and Garlo's like, that sounds like makes a lot of sense. Can we just pay a carrier to run? Turgid, can you jot a note in Cant? Drake would know that, right?
And
Just pass along what we need. Just pass it, and then
Just to
I
be
mean, we
clear,
can-
like Thieves' Cant is the art of talking around things and using code words that
Yeah,
sound like
there
normal
is a
conversation.
written written form.
That sound they sound like normal conversations, but you're actually using code. So-
yes, and you can
Yeah.
write that way too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's a written form. It's just code writing,
Mhm.
steganography,
Mhm.
things like that. But the question is, would they know a mutual cant?
Not really.
well, it's
That's
one
'cause-
language in D&D, so let's stick with yes. Let's say it's all.
It's
There's not
supposed to
variations of Cant, so.
be supposed to be one per city, but sure.
Well, she's from Waterdeep.
I'm from Waterdeep.
Yeah.
She's from Waterdeep.
Perfect.
Is
Look at
Ren
how
from
nice that
Waterdeep?
thing tied.
Yeah, she's from Waterdeep.
Hey, are you
Is
from
Ren
Waterdeep?
from Waterdeep?
Where are you from?
But is Ren
I'm
Drake
from Waterdeep.
from
Are you
Waterdeep?
from Waterdeep? I'm from Waterdeep.
I think he was from Neverwinter.
But he's been living here for a while. Come on. And he would make it his
Ah.
business to know, clearly.
That's fair, I guess.
Yeah.
If we can pass a note on to him, we can pay a courier to run it out right now. Seems like a plan.
Yeah. Yeah, but sure could use some tools or something. You know what I mean?
Garlo actually knows exactly what he means, and he's like, you know what? This has been sticking lately, and Garlo is going to hand him his gnomish fire starter.
You gave this to me, didn't you? Or I gave that to you, didn't I? No, I gave that to... You have one of these too?
I made one myself. You've made one of these.
I did. I just gave one to your friend Rafe.
Oh, bay times. Hey, go and grab it from Rafen. We talk shop. I'm keeping him distracted while the others do this, but me and Grey Gem are just talking shop, gnome to gnome. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's what Garlo is doing. He's
Oh, I like
basically
how you did
being
the
pacified.
double gears here. This is really nice stuff. Not bad for a person who doesn't do this every day. This is actually good stuff.
So you
know,
feed the oil through the back end like that? That is very
Yeah,
clever.
yeah, it
That's
hits
way
that-
more efficient.
you like that flint there? It just
Yeah.
hits that wheel just the right touch, and then if you put a wick to it, catches right up too.
Much better than
I've
my-
been thinking about putting one with a little metal, port to it that you can flip the lid, hit it, put the lid over just a long time, close it. You can warm your hands with it. I was gonna call it a Zippo.
Oh,
Zippo.
very
You could
nice.
light your
Especially
pipe weed
if-
with it. Be
Speaking
really
of,
awesome.
Speaking of, and Garlo is like holds the pipe, passes it over to him, just being like, if you want to light up. Oh my God, yeah, we're lighting up over here. We're having a fun time on this corner of the hostel.
I've been rid of boys. Get it?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is great. I love this. You know what else I thought about? A timer. Pops on at just the right times, lights up all the lanterns in your house just when you need them to.
You
Yeah.
set it up to some sort of prism that could catch the light, so then when it stops catching sunlight, it could turn on.
Oh, well, that's some extra magics. That's not mechanical, but it could be done.
I
With the
mean,
right
little artifice
icons.
and never.
Anything's possible.
Oh my gosh, can I go deliver the thing to Ren or Drakewood, whatever his name is? I need out.
You sure?
Yeah. Oh my
This is
gosh.
exciting stuff.
No, it's not. But bless
This
you
is-
for it.
God is good. God is great.
I heard that a few times.
Yes.
Note. Give me the note.
You sure? Okay.
So Sim's leaving?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's Turja has a minute, Garlo is spending this time pacifying the VIPs, I guess we'll call them, because prisoners sounds bad.
Guests.
Oh, Terja, go with Sim. Garlo and I will take care of this, and Lucy whenever he wakes up.
I shrug and I go with Sim.
Well, Lucy's escorted
Oh, to the piss
Sahir to the pisser.
Sahir to the bathroom, yeah.
Yeah. And
Garlo does a check-in, like everything flowing all right over there.
yeah, he's spending a long time at the trough. I don't know how long it's been since he took a piss, but apparently it's been a while. Man, this guy's drinking a lot.
That's to hear.
Yeah, a little nervous, but as soon as I can get him back up to you, I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah, we lit up the pipe, so when you're back, we'll start smoking a bit more.
Okay. And so, Sim, are you just going by yourself?
Sounds like Church is joining.
Turge is joining. Oh, it's
Yes,
a Sim and
Turge is
Turja
joining.
moment. Okay, so Sim and Turja are going to head out. We're going to let that roll for a little bit. So you guys just break off and go?
Yeah, I mean, just
Okay.
delivering a note, basically. It was an excuse to get out of the nerd talk.
Shop talk, thank you very much.
That's what I said.
She doesn't like leaving Sahir, but she doesn't want Sim to go alone either.
Fair.
Okay. Rafe is in there. Garlo's in there. All right, so
Yep.
it's engineer nerd talk all day long.
Yeah, this is going to be a very boring conversation. Don't worry about it.
What's your plan, ladies, to get up to the Happy Axe Peak? How did you want to do that? Because there's still 2 horses.
I tell Sim about the horses and I say, do you want to take the horses? We might as well. We've got them.
Yeah, I think quicker is better. I think if someone knows we have them, they already know we have them, right? So might as well be fast than sneaky.
I honestly don't think we're being watched anymore. I did check for the magic and it's gone.
That's good. That's comforting. Well, and maybe, I don't know, maybe Drakewood can actually help. I feel like we're all kind of lost on this. And we know we can't just leave them on the curb, so they gotta find someplace to be.
And I was a little disturbed that the high priest didn't seem more concerned that his own priest got snatched out from in his own temple. I understand there's no such thing as a completely secure building, but
There's a lot of casualness happening. Like just a lot more relaxation than I thought there would be. It's thrown me off, I won't lie.
yes.
As you guys get out to the horses and get the horses prepped for the time, because they're
Good for
winter
Walt.
prepped.
Yeah.
They're winter prepped. As you get on, you realize the wind is still blowing, but not as bad, and the snow has stopped. So the wind, there's still wind there. There you go, a little light wind there. All right, we had a slight wind change. It's not as bad as it was, but it is there, right? It is the never-ending wind gales from the ocean that are common this time of year. As you move out, you see the street sweepers trying to clear the snow as best they can. The drays are continuing on. The gradual revealing of the various different cobblestones are there. You see people shoveling their walkways in front of their homes. You see occasionally the occasional wizard who's just like with bolt of flame or whatever magics they want to do that. And you guys are then making your way through. Right? Various different town criers are screaming about different things. Nothing that quite catches your ears. Mostly ads. Big sale at Aurora's. Grey Castles is doing a special on shovels this time of year for some reason. I don't know why. Must be the season. And you guys continue on. Back to Rafe, Garlo, and the other gang.
What if you put a What if you put a reverse inverter here? What would happen?
You probably get the shit shocked out of yourself, I think. Hang on here. Let me see here. Let me see yours that I gave you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I
you
think
see
Garlo
the
has it.
inverted piece right here? Hang on. Let me just turn that around. Here, try it. You just shocked
Zahir
the
and,
daylights out of yourself.
Just take 1 damage, I guess.
Yeah, no, you don't even take damage. It's just a painful jolt, right? It doesn't actually hurt you, but you're like,
See, that's why you don't do that. Here, let me just turn that back around for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
dumbass.
I mean,
Garlo had no idea.
it's a maybe
In the
it's
chat, it's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I'm just trying to be cool.
just knowing you could do that might have value later on down the line, but like, it is what it is. I mean, I suppose I could make gag gifts like that for, pipe weed lighters.
well, I mean, what if you had it and instead of having a striker, you had a buzzer, like a button that completed the circuit, and then you strapped it to your hand and shook somebody's hand? Wouldn't that be fun?
Oh, I already kind of built that into the arms that I built. That's there. It has a continual arcane power converter, and it continually draws arcane energy to convert into electrical arcane spells.
As we're doing shop talk, two things. If Lucy and Sahir have not made it back yet, they still-
they come back in. Lucy's like, "Huh, okay,
before they do, as we're just shop talking around, as Grey Gem's getting a little bit more relaxed and just kind of like, I feel like this is distracting enough to like, hey, this is the old routine, so like kind of letting down some walls. Garlo in the group chat to Rafe is going to say like, did he mention at all what happened to Zahir while they were?
Oh yes. He
Broken?
went into a fair amount of detail. That's how we found out that Manchun was looking for the book.
That's all. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he didn't give us all the nitty gritty, but what he described was very serious and real.
If we did
horrifying
this
torture.
right, like we could put chains in this and really spin it, and I'll bet you I could put electrical energy with a chain turning the turbine. All sorts
Is there
of places.
anything? I mean,
Huh.
you're
That
far
would be
more.
interesting.
Yeah, you're
he
far
doesn't
more
know you're
advanced than I
talking
am.
mentally, so he just keeps talking, right?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
Rafe will respond with the the conversational movers.
Mm-hmm.
Garlo's smoking, but then just like, so we can either. I think I've got him a bit relaxed right now, so either we can try to press him about anything else if you think there's anything else behind what happened with Zahir that he might have seen, because Zahir was pretty adamant about him keeping his lip shut, or if we think we can get him to talk a bit more about anything else that he might have programmed into that arm of theirs.
Well, let me try something. So, Gorf, this
Yeah.
hypothetical chain lightning device. Is that anything like what you saw them use on Zahir?
Oh no, I just thought of that just now. I'm full of great ideas. No. I don't know exactly what I was seeing. There's some pretty foul stuff though. See, when he looks around. Look, man, I saw that body move in ways it's not supposed to. Bending, contorting, stuff sticking out of places and going back in. Like I said, the man's face was screaming, but no sound was coming out. Then unholy sounds, just like gargling and all sorts of other stuff were coming out of his mouth. Like the guy was frothing at one point. It was just, and then
In party chat, I'll
just-
say,
he just
honestly,
cried.
it sounds a lot like necromancy,
He
but
just cried.
that would imply that
What?
Zahir was dead. I'm not sure what to make of it.
As we're listening to it, can I do an insight check? I'm not so much that I think he's lying, but I'm just like, as he's talking about it, is there anything he's like sidestepping around? Is there any like other thing that I feel like maybe he's just keeping?
If anything,
guess-
the thing that you notice, go ahead and roll.
Yeah.
And I might put some extra psychic stank on this one. Let's see how
Okay.
it goes.
Yeah.
14. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of a psychic knack, a psi bolstered knack.
Okay.
So I can spend a die and add a d6 onto it.
Alrighty.
Come on. Hey, there we go. That's a dirty 20.
Well, the thing you notice is when he's talking, it's not exactly, like he's thrilled to tell you about these things. He trails off a little bit as he's talking about it, just because you can tell it's not something he wants to remember.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the insight you get.
Okay. All right.
Well, that was depressing. Let's go back to talking about the electrical surge generator. I think that's way more interesting.
I appreciate that. So you spun this up. I bet you I could power an entire castle. Maybe even an
What if you
interdimensional.
ran a chain between one of them and then to the next one and ran it in circuit? What do you think would happen?
I don't know. But I'll bet you it would be really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could cause an explosion, maybe a lot of lodestone issues.
Lodestone issues.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, like a lot of the similar effects of a lodestone. I don't know if the arcane physics works that way, but we could check it.
And then I think by this point, then Zahir and them come back in, or you said they do. They managed to come back, and I just in the chat to Lucy, it's any problems? Anything you notice? Everything up and up?
Yep, everything's
Everything come out
fine.
okay.
Yep,
Any
everything's
kidney
fine.
stones? All right, great. I think then we might. Are the Axe Beak and the portal within a mile of each other?
No. Almost opposite ends of the city.
I mean, I was
'Cause
gonna
remember
ask
the Axe
DM,
Beak is
but
it-
okay.
Axebeak's
The Axe Beak
actually
is up in the
further
North
away
Ward.
than the temple was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the North Ward.
And
Okay.
the
and
yawning
you're-
portal is right between Dock Ward and Castle Ward.
It's it's right on. It's inside the Castle Ward, but right on that border.
Yeah, right on the edge.
Mhm.
All right. So then I'll just relay in the chat to be do we want to mention to Zahir that we were gonna go ahead and escort him to the Temple of Agma?
Yeah, we should let him know that we've made contact with the temple and they're ready to receive him, and assure Gorf that we're not going to drop him off.
Oh, my back hurts so much.
Which
Where's
old priest
Turja?
is that?
Let's see here.
Okay.
Where's Turja?
She ran out to do something real quick, but we still got plenty of wine. Lucy, stop being stingy. Just grab the decanter back from him.
Oh, that's a fine looking piece of hardware there. I thank you so much. And he pinches Luciano's cheek. You're such a fine young man, helping to keep an eye on an old man like me.
Now, Sahir, one of the
Yes.
things that Terja has stepped out to do is make contact with your temple again. They said they were ready to receive you. Are you prepared to head back today?
I mean, sure. I'd love to be back there soon. And he looks up at you. I think it'd probably be the safest place I could possibly be.
Well then, when Terja and Sim get back, we should probably make our way over there.
I mean, the first thing we'll do is do everything possible to, secure the place, I'm sure. I'll talk to the High Cleric and we'll get everything squared away. You know how it goes.
Yeah, certainly.
I think it'd probably be best to us to take care of it. You feeling all right, sir? I mean, been through.
No,
bit of a
I
ringer.
feel like shit. But I mean, my back hurts, my knee hurts, I feel hungover. Hell, I thought last night was a dream.
I mean, after the nightmare you've been through, I can imagine.
Oh, you can only imagine, some of which I wish I could even remember. I think I blacked out so many times it's not funny. I mean, the man was trying to crawl around inside my skull. It felt like, anyway. Always demanding, always asking questions.
Is that why your spine hurts?
Anything in particular that he was keenly interested in besides I mean, we heard that he was after Sim's hand, but anything else that he...
I don't know anything about that part, but I mean, hold on a minute. And to answer your question why my back hurts, well, twofold. One, I was being tortured for probably well over, looking at the seasons, well over a month. And two, I'm a 60-year-old man. What do you expect? Hell,
That's fair.
You should be so lucky if you turn my age in 11 years or whatever it is you are. And you are thriving as well as I am.
That's 100% fair, Rafe. And Garlo will pop over towards him and go right about, because Garlo's only 3 feet, but he's strong, so he's going to jump up kind of about where Zahir's shoulders are, and he's going to click the immovable rod. So if you want to stretch yourself out, sir, and just like click it there, so in case he wants to do like a hang to decompress his spine.
Does this really work?
Garlo grabs it and basically like monkey bars himself up and then just lowers himself down.
You just touch this little button right here.
I mean, if you just want to stretch out with it a bit, it'll help if you want to maybe stretch your back.
Clicks and clicks and clicks until he figures out how to get the feel for it. Pops it up. Click. Oh, that feels good.
Hurts so good, doesn't it?
Feels good. Oh, I gotta get me one of these. Oh.
It's coming pretty handy.
And then he lets go and falls to the ground. Oh, crap! I can't reach it.
Garlo,
How about you get the tall lad over here who's pointlessly tall and have him grab it?
No.
Yeah,
And
sure.
Garlo like springboards off the mattress like a full-on teenager. Yeah.
Oh, I saw he came off that chair like that. That was a nice touch.
Well, yeah. Anything else that Mr. M was looking for?
I mean, he asked me a lot of questions. I don't know exactly what they were. I did my best to not answer them. But I don't know how much I could remember of what he asked of me, much less if I answered at any point.
That's fair. Tertia was really worried about you, sir. She cares a lot about what you did for her.
Oh, well, look, I just need to get a ride to the temple at this point. I think that, one, I got to give a full debrief. Two, I still don't know where I was. Can you guys tell me where that was?
We can point out the house that it led out at, but it had several different entrances. There was a portal, a gate sort of situation. Had a bunch of different outs and ins. One place we never got to see was Skull Gorge. Sounded pretty cool. Didn't get to look at it, but there's a out and top of a building here in Waterdeep. There's also a exit in a Temple of Bane that's down in the Underdark, or not the Underdark, the Undermountain.
We should write all this down. We should capture that information and put it to use.
Sure. I assumed
Perhaps
Rafe
to
did,
secure the
but
city.
I think if it also has an exit out to a place called Skull Gorge, I'd be pretty careful about it.
Aye. Sounds
And in the Temple of Bane.
terrible. Skullgorge. Yikes. Well, can we make our way right now? Luciano,
I think
would you mind, escorting me?
Sir, I think Turja would like to see you off herself. They won't be a minute. I have horses.
Well, okay. But, Luciano was so kind. Anyway, you got another, hold on a minute. Pulls out his flask. I forgot I had mine. Sips it, closes it back up. Oh, that takes the edge off, doesn't it? And with that, we transition back to Turja and Sim.
How far along are we to the Happy Axe Peak?
You're almost there. Except you had to go around because there was a big kerfluffle with the elven delegation. They are being escorted all over the town to search. And everyone is being canvassed and required to check in of elven lineage.
Well, I'm
You
sure
went
it's a
around.
future problem.
And you get to an alleyway, you cut through, and there you are, right at the Happy Axe Peak. You bring your horses around to the stables there, you park them with the stable hand, who immediately recognizes you, Turja and Sim, and then you make your way in. Are you going into the Happy Axe Peak bar, or are you going upstairs?
We're going upstairs, but as we go upstairs, I say, so why did you want to avoid those elves? I mean, you're not some sort of wanted criminal, are you?
Well, I mean, I probably am, but like not with them. Yeah, no. You've probably been seeing the news or the broadsheets or whatnot. I'm just a little worried I might be the person they're looking for, and I'm equally worried I'm not the person they're looking for. It's just a big emotion, frankly.
Surely it has to be one or the other.
All right, there's not really any other options, but they're both aren't my favorite. So, I think once we deliver this, though, I'm just gonna go check in and rip off that band-aid or that bandage. But
By yourself? You can't do that. It's dangerous.
no, they're just looking for someone. They're not like gonna arrest me or whatever. It's gonna be
No,
fine.
what I just no. We fought off an avenging wizard throwing fire at us. Remember?
I don't think they're related, though.
No, but if you're alone, you won't have any help against anyone who might try to attack you. Is what I mean.
Since when do you have my back, Turja?
And just as you say that, you hear a loud explosion from the south.
Oh.
And you see smoke rise up, and you hear two more loud explosions. Shouting, and people are yelling in the distance.
That can't be the
Standing
elves.
right in front of... Oh, it's right, not too far from where that would have been. And you are right in front of the door to West Mercantile Diversified.
Slip note under. Kurt, hightail it to the fires.
What are you doing?
Well, there's stuff happening. We might as well figure out what it is.
It has nothing to do with us. You want to run
Yeah.
into a fire?
Okay, I understand that you might be touchy, and like I'm still running and shouting. I understand you might be touchy or on fire, but someone should go check it out.
You immediately start to see the griffins floating from or flying overhead and zipping down, coming back up and doing some kind of aerobatics over the area. You hear the whistles from all over, and then the repeat echoed whistles of the watch going throughout the city. And not only that, you're hearing horns being blown all over the place.
I throw up my hands because I think Cimmerine's being insane, but I go after her.
Are you riding or are you running?
I am riding. No, did we already drop off the horses?
You dropped off the horses.
Then we're running.
Yep.
You are running. Okay, so you start running to the south. And with that, I think this is as good a part as any to stop for the night before we get wrapped up into something that might take a little longer than we have time for. But
Plus we need somebody to drive Luciano through Eldritch Blast and everything.
Oh, I'm pretty
yeah,
confident.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he knows exactly what's happened. Yeah.
Mhm.
But hold on here while I take my notes here before we break off. So when we come back next time, we'll find out what the explosions were, what actually happened. We'll find out, does Sahir actually make it to the temple? We'll find out, does Gorf Greygem really build this chained lake thing or whatever? Does Garlo decide to become an adherent to the Temple of Gond? Does Turja finally give up to everyone that she is a noble?
I already gave up to everyone that I'm a noble. Everyone knows.
And then admits who her family is to everyone. She's only admitted that to one person.
No, I told everyone my name.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
You did? Okay.
Yes.
So, does she get visited by a friend? And at the same time, does Rafe let the Temple of God know that he's no longer a temple member? We'll find out these things, potentially, and more, when we come back on Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction.